So starting the test drive in this Corolla here, the CVT actually pushes this thing pretty hard. And I like how it's kind of based on your throttle response. So if you give it some gas coming out of a corner, it'll keep you in that sweet spot to just keep you pushing until you hit the speed limit. And I really like that about this car. So with it being front wheel drive, you do get quite a bit of pull coming from the front tires. And I can say, I'm gonna turn the lane departure off, but I had a Geo Prism that had a 1.8 in it, and it did not pull like this does. Now, of course, I had like a 3 or 4 speed automatic, but I'm very impressed by the overall power you're getting from this engine. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. Here we go. Oh yeah, baby. A little humor there, but honestly, gets up to speed very nicely. Now you do get adaptive cruise here again. That's just, I think it's a pretty good perk of this LE trim here, just having that ability. If you want to use adaptive cruise, you can. If you don't have to. But I mean, the ride quality for this car, for it to be a Toyota Corolla, is actually pretty good. So I'm impressed by how well it's riding, and then you can still get upwards of 40 miles per gallon if you try. Now with the CVT, you kind of want to find that sweet spot again to accelerate. So I got it better pulling out of that parking lot as opposed to flooring it coming down the interstate. But I always like to just put my foot down if I can, just to show it off. But it felt quicker coming out of that corner as opposed to flooring it coming down that off ramp or on ramp. Now I want to give one more thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Corolla today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home though, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. But this car is $18,000. And it's just so, one of the reasons that these do so well is you can just get behind the wheel of one of these and you can't tell if it's got 0 miles on it or 200,000 miles on it, because there's not really anything that you can feel in how they drive. That's why these things can basically be run into the ground and then driven another 150,000 miles with no problem. They're just that reliable. I think of the Corolla, the Civic, the Accord, the Camry, where you just get behind the wheel of a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, and you can just drive it till the wheels fall off, because that'll probably go out before the engine transmission does. And that's one of the reasons, again, that these hold their value, that people still want them. But just having the radar cruise, the infotainment system, the automatic climate control, just the little things really help to stick out compared to back then. It might have been a Chevy Cruze, or I think the Fusion was still out at that time, I don't know. But you know, the smaller compact cars, that's one of the reasons that this has stood the test of time, I think. So I shouldn't have said Fusion, I should have said Ford Focus, but it's just still a good car even today, just to have that standard radar cruise. And then we still have the lane departure alert on this one, so no lane keeping system, but still the radar cruise is the biggest thing, I think. But all in all, again, for an $18,000 price tag with less than 92,000 miles on it, a 19 model and 25, pretty solid deal, I think. Especially if you plan on keeping this thing, again, for however long it'll keep driving. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2019 Toyota Corolla, and this one is in the LE trim level.